Yeah, and that makes it really local.
There are only certain demographics that are associated to the kinds of advertising revenue that can sustain the price points that they paid for these stations. So it's not an accident that, you know, every big company that comes into a market wants to have their pop radio station, because that's where they see their real income and revenue coming in.
You got to sell your Coca-Cola and your Chips Ahoy and your Nabisco and your Super Deluxe tampons. And then you figure out how to fit the music in. And it better not be over 4 minutes long, or they're going to cut it.
If all you've got is a radio, you're hearing the same shit. That's all you're hearing.
I don't know, I just feel a little left out, I guess, you know, because the stuff I grew up with isn't around at work. And there are, you know, like say classic rock stations or older stations, but they just play the same old, you know, they'll play, they have like 2 songs in their playlist by Jimi Hendrix that they'll play, and they have like, you know, maybe 3 by The Who.
Nah, you can't even find good music on the radio anymore. I mean,
I always just listen to CDs.
I honestly can say I haven't like actually turned on the tuner in my radio at home like for years.
And we're like mentally killing, culturally killing the generation that's living now going on by not giving them the kind of options that we had, of the kind of music that we could hear.
And radio is sort of in this little dance with the labels of, you know, who do you want to pump this week? Who are we turning the switch on for this week? Give us the payola, we'll put it on, and then that's the menu.
The first thing that shocked me was this playlist thing. That was when I was like, what do you mean? We have to play this? We have to play this in this order? These same songs over and over?
People tend to pick things that are immediately attractive as opposed to things that might grow on you. You know, you wonder whether a Bob Dylan hit would have ever been a hit if it was focus grouped.
But it's a very specific, limited playlist, and that's it. There's just like, that's it.
If you play something that's not highly recognized by the listener, you run the risk of the listener changing the station. So you constantly want to hit them with things that are familiar and test high. You know, we do music tests all the time. There's companies out there that's all they do. They'll walk in and we'll go, we've done a music test, here's your playlist.
And I would send these little notes to the program director and say, can we play this maybe? Or have you thought about this? And I would always get these, well, always. I would sometimes get a nice response. It was like, well, you know, we have these focus groups and we test out the music and this is really what people want to hear. And I would email back or write back, hey, can I be at one of those focus group things once and just be a fly on the wall and watch them? And it was funny how every time I asked, oh, you know what? You just missed one. Darn it all. Because we'd love to, they didn't want me to, if they really had them, they didn't want my ass in there.
It's amazing. I mean, they come in with 18-wheelers, they pull it off, they set up their own auditorium with chairs, and it's a big row, and people come in, and they're just all the way around, and they play songs. Did you kind of like it? Didn't like it? Hated it. And you just listen to little samples. And they have the demographic profile of everybody that came in the room, male, female, income.
If you ever want to guarantee yourself the wrong answer on anything, get 100 people in a room and have them vote on it.
I feel like it was Stalin or something that said something like, it's not who votes, it's how the votes are counted, right? So, like, I'm wondering, what are they being offered to choose from? Who makes that decision? I could never find out.
Do I think that people out there would respond to all sorts of different kinds of music if they were exposed to it? Absolutely. There's no question about it. But they're not given access to it.
I don't even know if half the tests are really going on, and I think they are used to justify the cesspool of crap.
It's music for the masses, you know. Even if you have the people that love music and are, God, I wish they would stop playing that song so much, I'm changing the channel. If the masses are staying, they're winning.
What'll end up happening is that radio will in the long run suffer. It'll become sort of obsolete because what makes radio interesting, what makes it great, will just go elsewhere.
Clearly there is dissatisfaction with radio programming, or else Sirius and XM Radio, the 2 satellite companies, wouldn't have a business model, right? Their whole business model is that, you know, terrestrial radio is not serving you, so you need this more complicated radio that has more diversity.
Clear Channel didn't make radio. Radio made Clear Channel. But that's not the way that Clear Channel thinks about it. The excitement of the invention of radio, that energy will go somewhere else and find a place to blossom there. And probably something like Clear Channel would chase it down and find a way to explode it.
Has a focus on formula and quick returns caused the record industry to overlook talent and soul in favor of commodity? Is America missing out on some of its greatest musicians because they don't fit the model?
Running, yeah, yeah. Keep on running for my love. Some folks say that you're really, really fine. All you wanna be is just a friend of mine. But I know the man you with gonna break your heart.